has already happened in the first half, and the acceptance speeches have been on fire. Who got shouted out the most? Let's look at the numbers. All right, cast and crew are leading the way with 11 mentions. Moms are holding strong with 3 shout-outs. God, creator of the universe, 0 mentions. And Mario Lopez, host of Access Hollywood, 1. All right. No surprise in this godless town. No surprise in this godless town.
Los Angeles, California, United States, resembled hell after a fire ravaged thousands of homes and forced hundreds of thousands to flee. On Tuesday, January 7, 2025, strong Santa Ana winds blew flames from the Palisades area, which was in the midst of a fire. The fire then spread to other areas, including Eaton, Hearst, and Hollywood Hills. The Pacific Palisades area is an elite residential neighborhood for various top celebrities. Hollywood Hills is also the location of the Academy Awards. Celebrities whose homes were affected include Paris Hilton, Billy Crystal, Cameron Matheson, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Mandy Moore. This fire occurred 2 days after Nikki Glazer mocking God, saying that the creator of the universe received 0 mention. No surprise in this godless town.
No surprise in this godless town.
This is January 8th, 2025 news. Pacific Palisades fires caused Beverly Hills Hotel to overflow with millionaires, as stars like Reese Witherspoon may lose their homes. The fires in the very affluent Pacific Palisades neighborhood of Southern California have caused people to literally run for their lives. Over 30,000 people have been evacuated, often leaving with just their small pets and the shirts on their backs. And DailyMail.com has learned that many of the fleeing super wealthy have flowed into the luxury hotels in nearby Beverly Hills that charge $700 a night. Several top hotels like the Beverly Hills Hotel, the Four Seasons Beverly Hills, the Peninsula Hotel, and the Waldorf Astoria are all sold out. A source told DailyMail.com they scrambled to get high-class accommodations after being forced to leave their $7 million home in the Palisades. I evacuated early and called the Hilton immediately. They had like 2 rooms left. I feel lucky I could get in, said Lisa Ann, a longtime Palisades resident. This is January 10th news. 11 dead, 12,000 structures destroyed as LA fires turn neighborhoods into ash. Firefighters made progress Friday in the battle against deadly wildfires that have decimated entire neighborhoods in coastal Southern California. But officials cautioned that strong winds would return to the region, raising the threat of further devastation as the death toll rose to 11. 5 wildfires remained active in Los Angeles County, scorching more than 36,000 acres or about 56 square miles, an area about the size of Miami, according to CAL FIRE. The largest blaze, the Palisades Fire, which ranks as the most destructive in Los Angeles history, scorched over 20,000 acres, including picturesque coastal enclaves between Santa Monica and Malibu. Evacuations from the Palisades Fire continued Friday, and hundreds of residents drove away along narrow, winding roads as emergency responders sent personnel and equipment into the fire zones, said CAL FIRE Battalion Chief David Acuna. Anticipating the fire's trajectory is a never-ending challenge, he said. One of the issues we're having right now is we can't tell where the fire is going to be in 30 minutes, Acuna told USA Today. The Eaton fire near Altadena and Pasadena was at 3% containment as it grew to more than 13,600 acres. Several other fires have ignited across the county as fierce winds persisted, including the Kenneth fire that broke out Thursday near Woodland Hills. The blaze prompted evacuation orders Thursday night, which have since been lifted. The blazes turned entire neighborhoods into ash, destroyed over 12,300 structures, and prompted officials to order the evacuation of more than 150,000 residents. At least 11 people have died in the 2 biggest blazes, according to the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner, 6 from the Eaton fire and 5 from the Palisades fire. On Friday, the battle against the Los Angeles wildfires turned into an international effort as Mexico and Canada announced they would send firefighters and other resources to California. Governor Gavin Newsom announced Friday afternoon that firefighters from Mexico were en route to the Eaton fire, joining over 10,000 personnel on the ground. The National Guard and neighboring states have also deployed resources as California faces rapidly growing devastation. Meanwhile, the California governor on Friday announced an independent investigation into water mobility issues that reportedly hampered firefighting efforts. Newsom's announcement comes as politicians, including President-elect Donald Trump, have pointed fingers at California's elected leaders, saying they weren't prepared for the fires. Also Friday, Newsom invited Trump to come to California and meet with those affected by the fires. Hundreds of thousands of Americans, displaced from their homes and fearful for the future, deserve to see all of us working in their best interests to ensure a fast recovery and rebuild, Newsom wrote in a letter to the incoming president on Friday. Developments. Water advisories. It's in Altadena, Malibu, Pasadena, Pacific Palisades, and a northern section of the San Fernando Valley, including Silmar, were under boil water advisories on Friday, with authorities asking residents to use bottled water. Curfew. A curfew order has been issued for mandatory evacuation zones related to the Palisades and Eaton wildfires from 6 p.m. Friday to 6 a.m. Saturday, said Los Angeles County Sheriff Robert Luna. He said those who do not obey the curfew will be subject to arrest. Federal help. President Joe Biden promised the federal government would cover the total cost of the wildfire response in Southern California for 180 days. Power outages. More than 170,000 homes and businesses across California were without power Friday evening, according to poweroutage.us. School closures. The Los Angeles Unified School District, the second largest school district in the nation, announced all of its campuses will be closed Friday due to the fires and hazardous air quality. The University of California, Los Angeles, canceled in-person classes on Friday. Powerful Santa Ana winds forecast for next week. Gusty Santa Ana winds are forecast to come and go over Southern California in the next several days, which could further exacerbate the deadly and devastating wildfires across the region. The strongest gusts are expected early next week, especially Monday night and into Tuesday, forecasters said. And as strong as the wind is forecast to be next week, we are not forecasting a replica of the winds from earlier this week. AccuWeather senior meteorologist Heather Zier told USA Today Friday, "Those howling winds, measured at speeds approaching 100 miles per hour, fueled the ferocious firestorms that followed. A red flag warning expired in Los Angeles as winds slowed down to 15 to 25 miles per hour by Friday evening, but the National Weather Service warned wind speed would start to pick back up Saturday." California's wildfire season isn't usually in winter. So, why is Los Angeles on fire? The devastating wildfires in Los Angeles, which have wiped out thousands of structures and killed 5 people so far, are uncontrollably burning during California's cool season. In the USA, winter months are from December to February, and the Golden State's often catastrophic fire season usually kicks off mid-year around May. This year, however, the blaze has whipped up a horror winter firestorm in the middle of Hollywood's hometown and already scorched tens of thousands of acres much earlier than anticipated. LA's dry winter, the powerful Santa Ana winds, and a long drought have combined for a deadly cocktail of dangerous fire conditions, stoking multiple out-of-control wildfires throughout the city. Here's how the wildfires began and why it's happening now. Why are the wildfires so bad in LA? Los Angeles is situated in Southern California, where the dry landscape is extra flammable following a prolonged drought over the warmer months. The city sits at the center of mountains and foothills. The deadly fires have torn through the region and rapidly scorched entire suburbs and towns across Eaton, Lydia, Hearst, the Palisades, Woodley, and Sunset. The fires are fueled by something called the Santa Ana winds, which generally arrive during LA's cooler months. These hurricane-force winds are powerful dry gusts that blow in from the western desert close to Southern California. Mixed with the dried vegetation and dry conditions, it provides a firestorm, stoking some of LA's worst wildfires in history. Weather conditions during the past 2 years in Southern California have also fueled the wildfires. The previous winters have seen heavy rain, which sprouted vegetation in LA. Coupled with a lack of rainfall in December, the drought has dried out the trees, grasses, and shrubs in the region, which are powerful kindling for the wildfires. Why are there fires in LA in winter? The state's fire season, which once took place from May to October, now extends throughout the winter months. November, December, now January, there's no fire season. It's fire year, California Governor Gavin Newsom said today. Temperatures in Los Angeles are moderate in winter, rarely dropping below 3 degrees even during the coldest part of December-February. Dry, hot conditions are also spurred on by the vicious Santa Ana winds, which are particularly bad for wildfires following a long drought in Southern California. These hurricane-force winds have fanned the flames of the wildfires and are making it close to impossible to get the blazes under control. Meanwhile, the climate crisis is also influencing fire conditions. A rise in global temperatures has brought about more fire weather, even during the cold months. These fires are a terrifying realization for Australians watching events unfold in California. That fire crews are coping with longer and longer fire seasons, said Amanda McKenzie, Climate Council Chief Executive. What caused the fires in LA? Fire officials are still investigating the exact origins of the multiple wildfires burning throughout LA. The Palisades fire, which is on the coast, began burning on Tuesday local time and scorched thousands of acres across beach towns in Los Angeles. The fire in Eaton broke out that evening, and a smaller blaze in Hearst followed. It remains unknown how these 3 fires began, however. The Santa Ana winds have contributed to their fast-moving pace. The combination of low humidity, dry fuels, and shifting winds has heightened the potential for spot fires and rapid expansion, California Fire said in an update. The ferocious wildfires in LA are often started from natural causes, such as lightning, which can spark a fire in an area with dry vegetation. Gusts from the Santa Ana winds can also damage power lines, which generate sparks. Humans can also cause wildfires accidentally by leaving campfires unattended or sparks from chains on trucks. Where exactly are the fires? There are multiple major active fires in Los Angeles which have traveled across the city. 5 people are dead and likely more have lost their lives, while at least 130,000 people are under evacuation orders and warnings. About 17 million people living across Southern California are covered by smoke and dust advisories issued for the 3 wildfires, according to the South Coast Air Quality Management District. The Palisades and Eaton fires have left tens of thousands of people evacuated from their homes and have destroyed over 1,000 structures. New fires also broke out in the Hollywood Hills near Runyon Canyon earlier today. You can see a map below detailing the fires sweeping Southern California. Well, that's the news about the major wildfires in California, which happened 2 days after the Golden Globe Awards. Did these fires happen because God is angry? We still don't know the cause of these fires. Maybe this is just a coincidence. But certainly, an event of this magnitude will make everyone rethink their lives, especially those directly affected. It doesn't hurt for us to reflect and repent for our wrongdoings, so that we can become better people. And hopefully these celebrities will become better people in the future. That's all for this video. See you in the next one.
Ugh.